Well, hello and welcome to On Deck with Avoya. I'm your host, Chris Greene, Director of Network Expansion, and we appreciate your time as we kick off year number 6 of On Deck with Avoya, which is so hard to believe. We do, though, with the same goal in mind, which is basically to brag about how awesome we are, because we are, but do so in a humble and welcoming way as we showcase our resources. We hope you're inspired by what you hear, that your research shows that you should take a serious look at the Avoya Travel Network, because we would love to hear from you. We've got a great show with all our favorite people today. Gina Hoyt from the Avoya Travel Academy will be along with the Academy Insights. Laura Burke with some inspirational knowledge. And our featured executive insider this month is Brandon Gotti, Associate Vice President of Product Management for Avoya Travel. Brandon has a great presentation as we discuss the latest updates to our award-winning platform, Agent Power. All of that and more on this month's On Deck with Avoya, and it kicks off in just a moment, so stay tuned. Well, hello and welcome to year number 6. Can you believe it? Of On Deck with Avoya. It's our first episode in our brand new year, and we're so excited to have an amazing guest for our Executive Insider segment today. Please welcome to On Deck with Avoya, our old friend, Brandon Gotti. But Brandon, you've got a brand new title these days, right?
I sure do. Associate Vice President of Product Management. So very excited to take on this new role. And what we're talking about today is right up that alley. So very excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. First off, congratulations. Whatever comes your way is certainly well-deserved. You're amazing at what you do at Avoya Travel, and we're so excited to have you on the program today. For those who maybe have missed your past, appearances with us, can you give us a quick little 411 of your background in the travel business and kind of what brought you to this point with Avoya Travel?
I'd be happy to. So I just celebrated 13 years at Avoya last month. And I started off in the promotions department, which for Avoya back then was a brand new department. And the idea was to have a department really focused on all the different deals that our cruise line partners, travel partners, escorted tour partners, resort partners put out there into the world, with the idea of taking all that complex information and making it easier to understand for our independent agencies so they can focus more on selling travel rather than getting lost in terms and conditions. And 11 years of doing that, I progressed my way up to the senior director of that department, and we saw a lot of change along the way. And just gradually along my career path, I started getting into more of the technical side of, booking engines and APIs and pricing and promotions and all that kind of fun stuff. So through those years, I got to work with a lot of different departments within Avoya, a lot of different departments with our partners that we work with every day. So it really gave me a great foundation for what my new role is, which is really overseeing the development of our internal platform, Agent Power, and how we can enhance that so that it's the best possible product for our agencies who live and breathe in that software every single day.
So, Brandon, to get started, I'm going to make 2 statements which I believe are fact, and I want you to either agree or just call me out and tell me I'm missing the mark completely, okay?
Sure.
So statement number 1 is Avoya Travel has been, is currently, and will always be very tech forward in our thinking as a company.
Absolutely. It's part of our DNA. We consider it to be one of the pillars of our company. And the thing with technology is you stand still for too long and you're already living in the past. So our goal is to keep pushing that envelope and to be at the cutting edge. Absolutely. You're right.
As part of that technology, our Agent Power system, which our independent affiliates in the Avoya Travel Network have access to run their business on a day-to-day basis, really is best in class and is very cutting edge as far as the current moment in time for host agencies.
Also true. And again, my goal and all the great development teams that work with Avoya and at Avoya, our goal is to just continue to improve that, listen to feedback from the agencies who are using this software every single day, and giving them a product that exceeds their expectations.
So now I'm going to pretend like I'm from Missouri, and we're going to put the burden on you to say, well, show me, right?
Sure.
Talk us through some of the enhancements that make Avoya Travel's agent power and the changes that have come down the pipe in the last couple of months really remain cutting edge? Because I think this is some exciting stuff that you're about to share.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. So I'll be sharing today some of the announcements we made at our annual conference, which were very well received. And as I kind of mentioned in my earlier spiel, a lot of these ideas and new features were built with feedback from real independent agencies in the Avoya network, because we really do believe that, if we're not making the product for them, then we're missing the mark. So the first one, which is one I'm most excited about, is Avoya works with tons of our cruise partners to secure group rates, which are price advantages that you can pass on to your customer to show them that there is a reason why we say the Avoya advantage. So one of the first things that we launched is this enhancement to our search tool. So as they're searching for cruises, those group price advantages, which we work so hard to secure, can be easily found at the very beginning of their selling process. So what we're seeing is our search tool, Enhanced Search, and what we've built into it are these little highlights around the different categories to let the agent know visually that there is some kind of price advantage hidden behind those categories. And what we can do is click on that category to expand this little table here,
Wow.
which shows them, hey, we've got 4 different categories in balcony, and here's what the group price is. But even more context than that, here is the price advantage that you have if the client had gone to, say, Celebrity Direct and wanted to book the same A1 category. They could, but they'd be missing out on a $1,000 per person price advantage. And even more than that, we show them what we're comparing that to get that advantage. So in this case, it's a non-refundable rate that the client would book if they went direct, where our group price not only has this great price advantage, but also is totally refundable. So just more information that we can arm the agents with to help making that selling process hopefully a little bit easier.
And it's so visually stunning too. I mean, the way it presents itself on the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. And our goal is to really take this same technology and concept and weave it into the fabric of Agent Power and hopefully avoyatravel.com as well. So we can just do a better job of demonstrating our value proposition.
So we're off to a pretty good start, Brandon. Show me more. I'm excited.
Well, you'll be excited because there is certainly more. The next thing that we have to show is what we're calling MyList Builder. And this is something that our network has been asking for. And so, it makes sense to deliver this for them. So really what it is a self-service tool that agents can use to mine their own database of clients to do their own marketing. Avoya is well known for the marketing machine that it is today, but also there's room for agents to add their personal touch, right? Who knows these clients better than the agent themselves? And so to allow them to have information to all this data points and to then be able to send a email to those clients, we're really excited about. So how this works is there is different ways you can slice and dice this data. So maybe you want to look at your guests who are currently booked. Maybe you want to look at people you've never booked before and put some kind of offer in front of them that will finally get them to say, okay, let's go ahead and do this. So again, just giving agents different ways to look through their data. And let's say, hey, Oceana Cruises has an incredible promotion, an Avoya exclusive right now, but I don't maybe have any Oceana clients in my back pocket. Well, maybe you do, and you just don't know it yet. So maybe you're searching for your celebrity clients who spend a certain amount of money that you could then maybe convert over to an Oceana client. So just different ways for the agents to be thinking about their clients and how best to get relevant information to them. Now, if you're an agency owner and you have other agents working with you or for you, you also have the ability then to include their bookings or not include their bookings. So tons of flexibility depending on how you want to do things. And ultimately, you're going to be creating a list, which looks a lot like this. So once you put in all the parameters of exactly what you want to search for, you're going to be given a list like this, and you can check or uncheck all the different clients with different data points that we present to you here. So maybe you contacted them 3 hours ago. So maybe it's not the right time to send them another email. Maybe you'll see that, hey, you haven't reached out to them in over a year. Maybe now's a great time. So just different data points that can help you manage your list and build exactly what you want to send. We do offer the ability to potentially export that list if you want to take that and do your own marketing elsewhere. But also, you can compose an email right here in the platform from the list that you've selected and customize it the way you want. Use variables so that you can say, hey, Chris, thought you'd enjoy this offer, as opposed to just, hi, customer. So
Right.
a lot of exciting things here for that too.
Very exciting stuff. Absolutely. I mean, the idea that I could go in and take my client base and segment it like that, and then use my creativity and marketing know-how to craft different specials that go out to different people who might have different needs. Again, that I mean, time is money, right? I mean, when you're
Hmm.
moving and grouping, especially with wave season coming, and again, just an amazing enhancement. So far so good. We're batting 1,000.
Glad to hear that. The next thing that we want to talk about today is this idea of a customer payment links. So for those who might not know, Avoya Travel has a consumer booking engine, which, by the way, 100% of the interest that we get in the consumer booking engine goes out to our agents. We don't book anything in-house. But kind of building on top of that technology, we know that, hey, if we can have a customer select their own cruise and make a payment there, why not allow that independent agencies who already have bookings to generate a link and allow the customer to book them, or to pay themselves for this booking that's already been made, regardless of how you made it. So this has been really popular in our network. And some of the value here is, of course, no need to take the credit card from the client,
Right.
which of course presents, just concerns for the client of security and things like that. So that kind of takes that out of the equation. And if the guest uses the link, the agent will get a notification immediately that that payment has been made, and the record in Agent Power will be updated automatically to reflect that. So again, just a really cool way to take technology and implement it in a way that, one, makes the agent look good, and two, gives some peace of mind for the client as well.
Yeah, I think so. Nobody likes the idea of having to like give their credit card number over the phone with expiration dates and CID numbers. So it's like when they bring that little machine to the restaurant right to the table and my credit
Right,
card
right.
never leaves my hand. I'm always just happier than having them walk behind some door with my credit card, and I always wonder what's happening then. So yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, and this is available for any cruise where Agent Power allows the agent to make a payment through it. So a large majority of the cruise lines that we already partner with are on this platform. So the last thing I have to share with you is another really exciting one, and again, really demonstrates the idea of making the agent's life easier while through technology. So the concept here is, hey, if we have a consumer booking engine and clients can already go and book themselves, what about weaving that into the actual selling process of the agent? So as an agent is working with a client, having those discussions, and then sending them a quote, what if we allowed the agent to choose whether or not that quote could be bookable right then and there? And we have two different ways of doing that. So of course, when you're sending a quote, you've already whittled it down from a specific sailing, specific category, specific rates and promotions and all that. So as you send that quote, they can book that exact thing that you sent them. But if you know that this client is really kind of shopping around and has options open, you could also give them the ability to go to that sailing and then browse the entire inventory. So if you check these boxes, the quote's going to have this book now link right in there. And as the client receives the quote, they can click a button to book that exact rate, same price, everything. Or they could choose, if you enabled them to explore other cabins on that cruise with, of course, messaging that lets them know that, hey, you're deviating away from the pricing and promotions that I've selected for you. So just know that as you make your own choice there, things will be a little bit different. So very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just total game changers as we head into 2026 and really puts the power back in the hands of the network affiliate. And if I'm a client and you send me a quote and it matches everything that I'm looking for, and I've got that excitement level at a fever pitch, that's what I'm going to take the plastic out of my wallet and I'm going to make a decision, right? So for that not to stand in between a client and saying yes, I'm going on this vacation, and while still benefiting 100% for both the Avoya Travel and our affiliates in our network, I mean that's a win-win, correct?
Absolutely. And, as you kind of say that, talking about, the shopping process and receiving those quotes, if the guest is a member of avoyatravel.com, they can log in at any time and see the history of the quotes that were sent all in one place. And if the agent gave them the ability to book it, they can always then book it from that list. So, maybe you're sending a few different options. Client will be able to easily see those all and book them if they want to. So very exciting stuff there.
Brandon, I would assume in your role that now that we're wrapping up 2025, it doesn't mean anything. The desk doesn't get any clearer because now there's a whole new set of objectives and ideas and things that maybe to take agent power and avoid technology even more cutting edge, I would have to assume.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, you're right. And like I said earlier, with technology, you got to stay ahead of the game, right? And that's really what we're trying to do. And, I think consumers these days are expecting that, right? They have so much more information available to them. And so to keep up with that demand and their expectations, it's important that we continue to think through how is the consumer thinking today, and what kind of tools can we empower our agents with to meet those expectations?
So, seeing how we're at the end of the year, it's December holiday season. What's your favorite all-time holiday trip that you've taken, Brandon?
Very good. Yeah. So I did an Alma Waterways river cruise a few years ago, and it was the holiday markets, which I think, is everyone's kind of bucket list once you find out about them and see the brochure, the beautiful Christmas trees and the markets and all that stuff. So it couldn't have been better. Rhine River cruise, nothing like sailing down the Rhine and sitting on the top deck and seeing all the castles go by. It's just really magical experience.
So, just a couple before we wrap up. Any last thoughts about either agent power or Avoya technology or anything Avoya in general as we head into 2026 that we just didn't touch on you think are important?
Sure. I think again, the theme throughout is just giving agents tools to help make the process a little bit easier. We've really a lot of the stuff that we've talked about today um, really dovetails into this idea that if an agent has their own group, an affinity group, a lot of these tools could be used for them to help manage that and make that, painstaking process of keeping up with the group and all the different bookings and all the different payments. A lot of these tools can be used for that to make that a little bit easier, like, hey, why don't I send this link to my group, and they can see my group inventory and just my group inventory and make bookings there and make payments there, so that all of the many different kind of manual steps that existed before maybe get mitigated a little bit and make managing that group a little bit easier. And I think that's really our goal, is to give more time back to the agents to do the selling, as opposed to all the administration stuff that they always have to do.
I think part of my job as the host of On Deck with Avoya for the last 6 years is to be a cheerleader for this great industry of ours about the amazing things about being involved in the travel industry as a travel professional. Do you think my enthusiasm about the future is warranted? I mean, is the future looking bright from your opinion in travel?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that uh, the way yeah, what I'll say is travel is always magical for everybody, right? And it's always going to be something that's on our minds. So it is an exciting time in the industry, seeing folks new to travel come in and be able to be a part of this. And, Avoya really has a ton of support and resources for folks like that. No matter what your background is, I certainly didn't know the travel industry before I got started, and it's been such an exciting place to be, and I'm looking forward to many more years here.
Brandon Gandhi, everyone, Associate Vice President, Associate Vice President, let's get that right, of Product Management. Brandon, great to have you on Deck with Avoya.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for glad to be back.
Absolutely. We'll have more of our show coming up right after this.
Greetings, everyone. It's Laura Burke, Director of Promotional Operations and Development here at Avoya Travel. As we approach the end of this year, I wanted to share a Secrets to Success tip that focuses on both vision and mindset. And December is the perfect time of year to shift from a more reactive mindset to a proactive vision. Your clients are about to be flooded with generic travel offers, and you're going to be that peace of mind to all of the noise that's out there because you're going to offer personal connection, value, expertise, things that the search engine just cannot match. So I encourage you to use the next few weeks to immerse yourself in education and to sharpen your knowledge on your key supplier partners. Familiarize yourself with all of the upcoming promotions. Keep on top of all of that. And when the clock strikes midnight on New Year's Eve, don't be looking for your plan. Be executing it. You are in charge of the success for the end of this year and the upcoming 2026. So be proud of what you've achieved here in 2025. So it's time to set the bar higher. So cheers to a prosperous and powerful new year. That's all the time we have this month. And as always, I'm wishing you the best in success, and I'll see you the next time around. See you guys in 2026.
Hello, and welcome to Insights from the Academy. My name is Gina Hoyt, and I'm glad you could join us. Today, let's talk mastering client discovery. One of the most essential skills for anyone entering the travel industry is the ability to conduct effective client discovery conversations, also known as qualifying conversations. Booking travel isn't just about choosing flights, hotels, or maybe a cruise. It's about understanding the human being behind the request. A skilled travel advisor knows how to ask the right questions, listen, and uncover the deeper motivations that are shaping this client's ideal vacation. Is your client seeking rest or adventure? Do they value luxury amenities or maybe culture immersion? Are there mobility needs, dietary restrictions, or maybe family dynamics that should guide your recommendations? The more insight you have, the more personal and meaningful your planning becomes. A strong discovery process also builds client confidence because it shows them that you're not simply trying to sell them something, you're curating their next adventure. This is how you avoid costly assumptions, prevent mismatched expectations, and create tailor-made experiences just for them. In a competitive marketplace where travelers are overwhelmed with online options, your ability to genuinely understand your clients becomes your greatest differentiator. When you master discovery, you move from being a travel planner to being their trusted advisor, someone who helps them articulate what they didn't even know they wanted. And that is the foundation of long-term success in this profession. When you learn to truly understand your clients, you stop booking trips and start designing experiences to keep them coming back for life. Thanks for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
Well, that's a wrap on this month's On Deck with Avoya. But before we go, a couple of reminders. We do have our ongoing promotion for our friends in the military, both active duty and retired, and their spouses, to receive $100 off the affiliation price of a package to join Avoya Travel or to join the Avoya Travel Academy. That also applies to our first responders as well. Details online at avoyanetwork.com or avoyatravelacademy.com. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and like today's video. That helps ensure all our great content ends up in your feed. And thank you for your time. Make sure you join us next month as we kick off 2026 with Daniel DeBrot, Senior Director of Sales for Avoya Travel. And we'll talk itinerary builders and more specifically, our new relationship with Turn. This is really a game changer and you won't want to miss that. Until then, have a wonderful holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and let's make 2026 the best year ever in travel. Take care, my friend.